Hello and welcome to another edition of the video newsletter brought to you by Qualtronics of Richland Center. Today we have a program that's really filled with information. We're going to be visiting with John Call, president of the firm. He's going to give us a nice preview of 1985, both from the viewpoint of Qualtronics and the viewpoint of the industry. We're going to be talking about the Trans 10, the dynamic, new, revolutionary Trans 10 antenna from Qualtronics. You'll be interested in that one. Technician's Corner, another good segment of solid meat and potatoes type of information. Ken Hatterman of Luxar, sales and marketing manager with them, has a surprise visit to Qualtronics, and we certainly want to hear what's new with Luxar. Larry Wyman, director of marketing for Qualtronics, makes his initial bow and tells us about his enthusiasm for the firm and the industry. Multi-couplers will be the subject of a discussion, as will boots, protective kind for your equipment. Also, the industry news will be on, and we might say that during the course of today's show, as usual, we'll have dealers and distributors' names and addresses and phone numbers on the show so that you can see where to go and where to contact the people who are handling Qualtronics products. And now let's get on with the show.
We'd like to unveil our Qualtronics Trans 10 antenna. It's all new and a born winner.
Quality, performance, and strength, and all at a highly competitive price. It's the all-new Trans 10 mesh by Qualtronics. Engineered for maximum durability and reflective surface, the Trans 10 is also extremely easy to look at. It has a baked acrylic thermoset black finish that gives it that low luster appeal. Aesthetically speaking, the Trans 10 is not just another beautiful face, it's got plenty of other qualities to back it up. The extra strength hub is parabolically formed to maximize signal strength. Like the keystone of a great building, the hub is engineered of 3/16-inch prime steel and measures a solid 14.5 inches in diameter. The ribs are made of superior strength tubular 16-gauge steel encased in polytrans vinyl, especially formulated for the satellite industry. The end result? Solid strength, at the same time minimizing the size of the ribbing. Now this avoids the bulky appearance of so many mesh antennas. The polytrans vinyl ribs of the Trans 10, in another innovative feature, have full half-inch unobstructed mesh retaining channels. The mesh panels slide smoothly into place, simply and surely, making for fast assembly time and snug positioning. Another bonus, better retention of the panels in high wind areas, and maximum reflector signal with no gaps in the reflective area. It's a distinct advantage over other mesh designs. High gain means better performance. The Trans 10 has an outer rim of rigid extruded aluminum anchored securely to the ribs and center hub to form a solid framework for the panels. The mesh panels themselves are of expanded flattened aluminum with a 1.040 thickness and 0.045 strand width. The mesh in all exposed frame parts have a baked acrylic thermoset finish. All antenna hardware is plated for weather protection. The new Trans 10 antenna features a Nova polar mount with greasable self-aligning bearings. They reduce wear of the pivot points to an absolute minimum. The mount also has a 4-inch by 4-inch box tubing for the elevation beam. The Trans 10 mount also has an infinitely adjustable declination offset to optimize the trackability of the system regardless of geographic location. Compare this mount with other mounts that you see on the market, and you'll find that the difference will be very apparent. The Trans 10, with its 10-foot diameter, has a deep dish design for maximum gain, a focal length of 44 and 13/16 inches, and an FD ratio of 0.375. The Trans 10 is UPS shippable anywhere in this country with a weight of 155 pounds for easy handling. Without a doubt, the Trans 10 by Coltronics is destined to be the front runner in the industry, the ultimate mesh antenna design, because it has quality, performance, and eye appeal. During today's show, distributors of Coltronics will be brought to your attention periodically. We'd like to keep that in mind, and also we'd like to show you some of the regional offices.
And they are Coltronics Rocky Mountain. That's located in Boulder, Colorado. You can call the manager, Peter Beeman, at 303-530-3422. Also in the West, Coltronics West in Las Vegas, Nevada. You can call manager Rudy De La Paz at phone 702-362-5816. Or in the Southeast, it's Marietta, Georgia. You can contact manager Ron Cockcroft at phone 404-955-6682.
Satellite Antenna Systems Incorporated, Houston, Texas, 713-680-9900.
Home Satellite Systems, Memphis, Tennessee, 901-372-5932.
Go Satellite Incorporated, San Marcos, California, 619-744-7334.
Movie Magic Satellite, Sarnia, Ontario, Canada, 519-542-1942.
Welcome to the world of satellite TV opportunities, the marketing techniques magazine for satellite television that reviews the latest technology and introduces you to people you should know.
Satellite TV Opportunities is the marketing techniques magazine for satellite TV dealers. Our single purpose is to help dealers increase their sales and their profits through improved marketing techniques.
Call today for your subscription to success, 1-800-922-2812, Satellite TV Opportunities Magazine.
Satellite Specialist, Bogalusa, Louisiana. Satellite Antenna Systems Incorporated, Houston, Texas. Warren Radio Company, Davenport, Iowa. Allstate Supply Company, Topeka, Kansas.
Now let's see what Dale Davenport has for us today in the Technician's Corner.
Today I'd like to go through a simple method of troubleshooting P1 problems, and a method that can be done right in the field if you have a digital multimeter. Now any problem that has something to do with polarity, say they can get all the even channels but they cannot get the odd channels, or a customer can get the odd but not the even, or the odds come in really good and the evens aren't so good. Anything connected with the polarity must be associated with the P1 and the P1 control circuitry, or the wiring in between. And today I'll run through a quick, easy method of checking out all of the P1 control and the P1 circuitry involved. Now, most of the receivers nowadays have a built-in P1 control. The requirements of your P1 are 5 volts and a pulse signal. The black wire on your P1 is for ground, the red wire is to apply a +5 voltage, and the white wire is for your pulse signal. And most of these connections, well, all of these connections are labeled on the back of your receiver in one way or another. And the first thing to do, if you go to a customer's house and they're having polarity problems, say the skew adjust will not cause the unit to skew. First thing one should do is remove the P1 wires from the back of the receiver. Now I already have that done. These first 3 screws here are my P1 connections. I have them labeled, the ground, the +5, and the pulse. I connect my common lead from my multimeter to the ground connection. I put it on an appropriate scale for reading 5 volts. Take my red lead and I apply it to the +5 terminal, and I should at this time find 5 volts if the control built into the receiver is functioning. And as you can see, I am reading 5 volts. Okay, I now switch over to the terminal where my pulse signal should be coming from. And here I will flip down a scale to the 2 volt and lower scale. And as I skew, I should find a voltage that will vary somewhere between 1/10 of a volt and 9/10 of a volt. And as I adjust the skew, you will be able to see the reading on my multimeter change. Now I am skewing, and as you can see, the voltage is increasing. As I skew, it's now lowering 8/10, 7/10, down to 6/10. So if you monitor for a signal on the pulse wire, you should get a voltage which varies somewhere between 1/10 of a volt and 9/10 of a volt. If you do find these voltages present at the back of the receiver or on the P1 control itself, then you can rest assured that the P1 control is functioning properly. At this time, I would check my cable run for any shorts, which is done by using an ohm meter and just checking between the wires for any shorts. Now normally the cable run will go between the receiver and the P1, which will be located at the dish. For purposes today, I have a total of a 3-foot length cable run, but it will suffice for these purposes. At this time, once you have assured yourself that the P1 control is functioning, reconnect the cable run after you have also checked it for any shorts. So I reconnect the cables with the white wire going to the pulse terminal, the black wire going to the ground terminal, and the red wire going to the +5 terminal. Okay, I then go outside to the dish at the other end of my cable run, disconnect it from my P1, and take the same voltage readings at the dish to make sure that my voltages are making it to the dish. Now, the common lead from the multimeter can be connected to the black wire, which is the ground. And the red wire, when applied to the other terminal of my multimeter, should give me a reading of 5 volts. Okay, I do have my 5 volts, which means that the 5 volts is making it from the receiver to the dish. I then go to the white wire and check for my pulse signal. And I see that it has made it that far. So I know that my cable run is good. The only thing left will be the P1 motor itself, which is this blue box on the back of the P1. I then make the proper connections with the red wire going to the red wire, which is my 5 volts again, the white wire going to the white wire, which is the pulse signal, and the black wire going to the black wire, which is my ground terminal. I then physically check for movement of the P1. As I adjust the skew, I should find some movement. And as you can see, I do have movement. Now, if at this time I did not have any movement and yet all my voltages were getting to the P1 motor, the only thing left that could be wrong is the P1 motor itself. And the P1 motor itself is the blue box located at the back of the P1. Now, once you have assured yourself that all the voltages are getting to the P1 motor and you still get no movement out of the P1, then chances are very good that the P1 motor itself is bad. And replacement of the P1 motor consists of 4 screws, and that's it. That's basically how to troubleshoot a P1 problem in the field with just a voltmeter.
Are you confused about satellite programming guides? Are you tired of monthly inaccurate guides that are big and bulky and about as much fun to use as a city phone book? How about tabloids with hard-to-read print, incomplete movie listings that are about as easy to use as a road map? Or newspaper guides with confusing grids that fall apart in your hands? There is an alternative. Onset, the easy-to-read, easy-to-use weekly programming guide with more movies and sports. Best of all, Onset is only $39. That's right, 52 issues for only $39. But don't take our word for it. We'll send you a free copy of Onset, and you can judge for yourself. And if you're a dealer, ask about our dealer program. Make your customers happy and make money. Call Onset now. Toll free 1-800-438-2020 or write Onset, Box 2347, Shelby, North Carolina 28150. Onset, you've seen the rest. Now try the best.
Philips Satellite TV Sales and Service, New Haven, Michigan, 313-749-9700.
Midwest Sativision Incorporated, East Moline, Illinois, 309-755-5355.
Sky Power, Downs, Kansas, 913-454-3393 days or 3857 evenings.
Johnson Enterprises, Jamestown, North Dakota, 701-252-1431.
Precision Satellite Systems, Clearwater, Florida. STS, Sandy Springs, South Carolina. And STS, Gainesville, Florida. Satellite Earth Stations, Mamou, Louisiana.
Well, we have the special opportunity today to talk to John Call, president of Calltronics, on a number of matters. I think number one, John, would be the fact that you have been exuberant after each show that we've gone to through the past 5 years, but coming back from Dallas, you seem to be even more so. What was the reaction down there?
It sure was, Joe. It's been a very exciting time for us at Calltronics. We came back from the show in Dallas with renewed vigor and a lot of excitement. We have great acceptance on the new mesh antenna that we're going to be manufacturing. We introduced it with an optional stainless steel panels, which was kind of a first. We've reduced the cost in the new style of mesh antenna greatly by the redesigned rib, which give full credit to Ross Helverson, who designed it. New concept using steel for the inside and a trans vinyl for the outside, and it greatly reduced the cost and still maintained the strength and the quality of the antenna. And so we're very excited. We're adding to a growing list of distributors, and we feel that this antenna will do a great deal to enhance our product line. As you know, we've had great success with stainless antennas, and that's continuing to grow. Certain segments of the public need to have a transparent antenna for aesthetic looks, and we felt if we could make a good quality antenna and keep the cost down and still offer it in a stainless steel version, we still meet the criteria of the quality that we wanted to maintain for Calltronics. When we're excited, I've got a list of distributors that I want to get into a little bit later that are going to be handling the Trans 10, and a couple of things exciting about that. We have scheduled at this point testing for the Trans 10, which we hope to have the results by the March show. We want to have online at that time a 12-footer and an 8-footer version. The 10-footer that is available now, the Trans 10, is a UPS shippable antenna, 2 boxes, 3 with a mount. It's in black as standard and very, very cost competitive. and a year warranty on it. And so we're very happy with the results with that. So it was a very exciting show.
The reception, especially on the Trans 10, I guess, boggled the mind.
Sure did. We were flying on the plane to the show, and we talked about possibilities of what we were projecting for sales, and that quickly got blown away within the first 2 or 3 hours of the show. It was very well accepted. What was needed is an antenna of this styling in a price range that was more competitive. And we were able to do that with this new rib design. And so we're pleased about that. Maybe I should just maybe take a moment. I'd like to just mention the distributors that will be handling this antenna, and it's a growing number. I'm just going to read the names off, and as I go through these, Joe, we'll talk a little bit about the ad campaign that we're going to get going. The dealers out there, we want you folks to feel free to contact these distributors. This antenna will be marketed through distributors, and we're very happy with this growing list. We have Satellite Specialties, we have Satellite Antenna Systems Incorporated, Warren Radio Company, Allsat Supply Company, Precision Satellite Systems, Daryl, STS, Bear, Satellite Earth Stations, Joe Mill Electronics, Satellite Earth Stations, Intercontinental Satellite Distribution Centers, National Microdynamics, IVS Incorporated, Best Reception, Eclipse Electronics, Energy Options Incorporated, and Flame Satellite Products. And Joe, maybe you want to touch on the ad campaign that we're starting with this new antenna.
Right. We want to incorporate the growing list of distributors into the campaign, 2-page spread, which will start in the January issues in 6 major publications of the industry. And we are very proud of the distributors and of the product. And I think it's going to sell and sell.
You bet. We're going to stay with the established policy of working with distributors. We'll be running the trucks out to the distributors. We have the 3 warehouses to make it more convenient for the distributors and your dealers. And you can call in and get the address and name of the closest distributor to you. And we are looking for active distributors in areas where we don't have saturation at this point. One thing that we've done, Joe, and that's been exciting here, we've had to go and expand again. It was just a year ago now that we moved into this facilities. We're moving, as you know, Joe, to a 10-acre industrial park that Qualtronics is in the process of purchasing, and we should be in there by January 1. Has much increased manufacturing facilities, and total square foot of one of the major buildings is like 16,000 square foot, and there's 3 other buildings, 6,000 each in office, and it's on a 10-acre industrial park, and that'll give us the expansion we need. Our plans are to keep the corporate headquarters at this location in Richland Center. The manufacturing facilities will be about 10 to 12 miles from here. And in this facility that we're doing this taping will be added office space and a new studio for Nova Video, which will make the cameraman very happy. We have plans to expand the role of Nova Video into some other fields. And we've added a couple of things. A communication consultant, a local man from this community for our local commercial division in communications, and we plan to expand that to radios and telephone service systems that we can offer packages to dealers in the local area, local 3 or 4 state area, and we will make it available to everybody as soon as that becomes available. Also, we have addition of a director of marketing, who Joe will introduce later on, of Larry Wyman, who is going to take the role of heading up the commercial division and helping with the advertising campaign, and Joe will get into that a little bit later. But we've got a lot of exciting things that are happening.
It may be a little bit early in 1985 to predict what sort of a year we, or at least have a goal for 1985. Do you have anything in mind, John? I know every year we've undershot the goal. It's always surpassed what we have thought we would reach.
Well, the sales staff, we have a Tuesday morning meeting at 7 o'clock in the morning, and it's been a topic of discussion where we want to go for next year, what we want to be able to do for our distributors and dealers, and I think an aggressive stance that our company can take would be to capture, excuse me, to capture a minimum of 5% of the market for 1985. And I think that's a realistic goal and one that we're going after. And maybe it can be 10%, but we're actively looking market, trying to develop a new product at a good price range, and to start building sincere and good loyalty working relationship with distributors and dealers, not putting distributors on top of each other, trying to work out contracts. We're going to be working up some contracts for the distributors that something that probably should have happened a long time ago with a lot of manufacturers, and because of the growth curve they weren't able to do that. And we've got some plans for promotion that a lot of other bigger companies out there, but we're one of the first, and we're going to be in here for the long run. There's no doubt in my mind that years from now you'll still be able to buy antennas from the manufacturer that started over 5 years ago, and that's us. We're not standing still with this antenna. We've got a couple other designs on the board that we'd like to try to have available by the March show, of a different type of a design that will be very interesting, and we think we can have it online by March. It will be probably at this point we're looking at either aluminum or possibly stainless steel in a hydroform process. And our workhorse and our still biggest seller and pride of this company is our stainless steel antenna series, the SS66, 90, and 112, which maintains a 10-year warranty, and that 112 pound for pound is the most accurate and efficient antenna that I know of, that I'm aware of in that class of antenna. Our competitors, the only thing that they have to resort to things that aren't even true about it to sell against it. In most cases, the biggest reason they can sell against it is because it's a little bit their product is less money, and the reason things are usually less money, they're not worth as much. And this 112 is a highly accurate 10-year warranty antenna, guaranteed for 2-degree spacing, and it's a super antenna, so we're very proud of that series. But we're going to be adding to that line of antenna. And I know a lot of people asked us a year ago, in fact, Peter Dalton and I had a discussion about mesh antennas, whether Qualtronics would ever want to introduce one. And we struggled a long time before we wanted to introduce a mesh antenna, and we felt the timing for our dealers and distributors and for Qualtronics to maintain its place in the market needed to introduce an antenna that was UPS shippable and was in the right price range. And we did that to extend the product line for our people. And I think the timing was right with it. It's as good as any mesh antenna in the market. And it has a year warranty, and we'll stand behind it. We're going to have the thing tested. One thing I want to bring up, too, I've been approached by via letters and at one point at the last show about individuals or a couple of companies that are contacting manufacturers on kind of a self-appointed job of testing antennas and letting the public know if they're good or they're bad. I've got to a point a very dim view of this when I get approached to send an antenna to somebody that I have no idea what their credentials are to test an antenna. Our antennas we send down to Houston, to Tulsat, and many other antennas have been tested by this corporation, ADM, which has been around for a long time. And if we're going to have it tested, we're going to have it tested by somebody that we know and trust and believe in, and that knows what they're doing. And some of these people that are asking for product to be sent to them, that they're going to write a report on them. And the innuendo, if you don't send them an antenna, that then there must be something the matter with it.
Turns you off.
It sure does. I don't agree with that. We've had test reports on our antennas since we've been in production with the 112, and we've done more testing with our antennas than I think the majority of other manufacturers, and we're going to continue to do it with this new antenna. And I'm all for space, and the other programs are for standardization, and we'll go to bat for that any way we can. But there's just a lot of misinformation about antenna gain and reports. Some spout 90% or 80% efficiency, and when you go to find out where they were tested, it's from somebody you've never even heard of. And so we feel that the route to go is with a established company that knows what they're doing, and if space comes in line with a program of testing an antenna, we hope to be one of the first ones in line to retest them if that's what they want to do. But I take a very dim view of these self-appointed people that ask for product to be sent to them, and you have no idea of their capabilities of testing antennas. So enough on that. But we're excited about all the things we've got going, and it's going to be a super show. And for CES, we'll be there, and we'll be there for the March show also in Las Vegas.
Beautiful.
And like to thank all the dealers and the support and cards and things we've been getting from the show. I hope it's informative. I hope it's helping people. We've got a thing coming up here real soon, Joe, and that's a drawing for the free system. So if you haven't got your cards in, get them in quick, because that'll be coming around December 1st, and that'll be a drawing for a mesh antenna, a Luxor complete system, and I think we'll probably tape that right on air when they do the drawing, I would think.
Well, we could, but I've got just one little correction. It's too late now to get your entry in because the show, we're taping this one or 2 days before the actual viewing today. But
well, good luck to whoever sent the cards in.
Thanks for sitting in, John. In the past, we have known this is the most exciting industry in the nation. And talking to John, I just know that Caltronics is as exciting as any other industry in the nation.
Thank you, Joe.
You bet. Thank you, John.
Hi, I'm Jim Sund. Channel Guide gets with the program.
Hi, I'm Leslie Howard.
Hi, I'm Mary Covens.
Hi, I'm Dina Newberg.
Hello, I'm Pat Hennig.
Hello, my name's Catherine Edgar.
And this is Lloyd Covens with some of the Channel Guide crew here at the 1984 SAT Expo. Channel Guide gets with the program every week, 52 times a year. And our new publication, Galaxy One, gives you the best from the new used communication satellite, our easy-to-read grid format, and our monthly updated logs, and interesting ads and information. So for your free sample to Channel Guide or Galaxy One, call now. Operators are standing by. 1-800-654-3006. That's Channel Guide, a free sample copy by calling 1-800-654-3006.
Synergy Enterprises, Elizabethtown, Kentucky, 502-737-8979.
Warner Satellite Incorporated, Elkhart, Indiana, 219-295-2296.
B&M Satellites, Glenoma, Washington, 206-497-5226.
Unlimited Satellite, Madison, Wisconsin, 608-222-3242.
Satellite Earth Stations, Austin, Texas. Joe Mill Electronics, Covington, Louisiana. Satellite Earth Stations, Macon, Georgia. Intercontinental Satellite Distribution Centers, Midvale, Utah.
Now Jim Atkinson of Caltronics wants to tell you about some boots, a very important subject for you.
Good afternoon. As you all well know, Caltronics' home office is located in Wisconsin. Wisconsin's known for some nasty weather in the fall, winter, and spring time of the year. And especially in the fall and winter, a lot of times this rainy weather will freeze or get inside the jack shaft itself and freeze inside of the actuator. And that's when problems become very serious. To prevent this from happening, we've got a weather boot available to you dealers and distributors to take care of that problem. This boot has a vent at the front and also one at the bottom. Let me show you one that is not installed yet. Here's the vent at the top and the vent at the bottom. You merely slide the unit, the weather boot, over the jack shaft. This part goes over the external tube, and the front piece over the internal tube. And as the actuator extends, the preformed pleats unfold. And as it contracts, it goes back to its preformed shape once again. It's held in place with some specially designed wire ties to prevent any water from getting in around the shaft cylinder itself. And with this piece in place, this will prevent any rain from getting inside of the actuator tube itself and preventing any costly service call. Now, to make the system complete and totally impervious to any water intrusion, we also have motor boot covers as well. They also have the vent on the top side, and all these vents on the top side, they are curved down, and if you can see real closely, there's a small hole there to allow air to enter in through the system to prevent any condensation from occurring. The bottom vent is an excellent place for your cables to exit, to prevent also that by that way you aren't having to pierce another hole and allowing water to penetrate in through that hole. With these two units installed together, it will eliminate almost entirely any water intrusion into this system of the actuator. Call up any of the numbers listed on the screen throughout the program, or write the numbers down because these lines are busy during the program. And for future reference, also it's convenient to have that number listed. At twice the cost, these boots are worth it. Try one out. I think you'll like one. Thank you very much.
Well, we have a visitor today, a rather pleasant courtesy call by Ken Hotterman, who is with Luxor as the sales and marketing manager. First of all, we'd like to say we are very pleased to be a distributor for Luxor here at Qualtronics. And I think the opportunity presents itself right now, Ken, to ask what is new at Luxor. And I'm sure you have plenty to talk about.
Yeah, thank you. First of all, I'm very happy to be here. We do think an awful lot of Qualtronics. You have a very good reputation as a manufacturer. I'm very pleased to make this call. I'm here to meet with John to discuss a number of things. We have just recently introduced at the Dallas Trade Show we last attended the new Mark II receiver from Luxor, and we think we're seeing the advent of block receivers with various manufacturers. We're here to discuss not only the difference in installation to some degree, but the immense potential we have for cabling small communities with neighbors actually sharing an antenna, getting independent channel selection. And we're here to discuss the marketing thrust that Luxor will be putting out through 1985. For this, our third in a generation of Luxor receivers. As you know, we have the Scantic receiver, a basic featured receiver with the stereo processor built in. We have our stand-up version of the 9550, which is, of course, has been in operation for a number of years successfully. And now the third in a continuing evolvement of equipment with a new concept, independent channel selection around the home. And that's why, and one of the reasons I'm here.
Luxor is based in Sweden.
Yes, we're a Swedish manufacturer with our North American headquarters based in Bellevue, Washington.
I see. I know that, but I thought maybe some of the dealers
Yes.
might not know.
Yes.
And you have worldwide distribution and
Yes.
concern?
Luxor is a quite diversified company. We have about 60 years of experience in consumer electronics internationally. We're part of a very large Finnish corporation and partially owned by the Swedish government. And we are producing consumer electronics for both import and export to other Scandinavian and European countries.
Well, Ken, you're quite high on the new receiver.
Absolutely. It's something to think about. We took a lot of time in research and design to produce a product we're proud of. It does incorporate all of the features our dealers have learned to request and become very comfortable with. And we really think that the block-down conversion is the wave of the future. And again, as we led the parade in 1982 with the first people introduced infrared remote control, we are now producing a block receiver, which we're very fond of. And we think it'll give the dealer the opportunity to present the necessary options that people are asking for. It is important that you have the potential for independent channel selection from other parts of the house. Sports in the living room, movies in the bedroom. If the children would like to watch Nickelodeon, we now have a solution. And that's the reason for the introduction of the Mark II.
Great. We're delighted at your visit, and we certainly wish you well.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ken.
Want to know more about satellite TV? Then go to the source for product reviews and how-tos. We're on the road and out in space, and sometimes in very cold places, with features and technical reports. It's all in satellite TV. That's only $19.95 for 12 big issues of STV magazine. Call now, 1-800-438-2020, and get this LCD calendar clock free with your subscription. That's 12 big issues of STV magazine and the clock for only $19.95. The number again is 1-800-438-2020. 1-800-438-2020. Call now.
Satellite TV Systems, Amarillo, Texas, 806-372-1401.
Comstar North, Chicago, Illinois, 312-952-9154.
ESI, Parkersburg, West Virginia, 304-863-8383.
Tri-County Satellite, Oxnard, California, 805-485-4665.
Intercontinental Satellite Distribution Centers, Anaheim, California. Intercontinental Satellite Distribution Centers, Gresham, Oregon. National Microdynamics Incorporated, Chattanooga, Tennessee. IVS Incorporated, Bristol, Tennessee.
Well, we want to introduce, as John Call mentioned earlier, Larry Wyman, who's Director of Marketing and who we're very happy to have aboard. Larry, you bring some good background to your job.
Well, thank you, Joe.
Let's brief us very succinctly on what that background is.
Well, my background primarily has been in sales and public relations and marketing for these past 7.5 years, and I've been traveling for a rather large steel corporation, and I've been calling in 3 or 4 states in sales, and I enjoy it very much, and I'm looking forward to the opportunities here at Call. And this is a very exciting industry.
Enthusiasm is high.
Oh, mercy. Calltronics right now, we're just on the verge here of some real exciting things, and I know Mr. Call has probably mentioned it to the audience, but we're looking forward to an exceptional, exciting year.
And that involves the expansion of our facilities.
At the present time, I'm happy to say that the manufacturing facility, as you know, we're expanding, we're enlarging because of demand, and then in marketing, kind of my end of it, we're getting into the commercial division. We're opening back up. These past few years have been very kind to us at Calltronics, and we want to expand now into the commercial market.
More aggressively, perhaps.
A little more aggressive, and we want to work with there's a lot of dealers out there of the satellite antenna systems that are calling us daily to get our help and our expertise in design and engineering these systems for installations they feel a little uncomfortable with.
I see.
And I'm happy to say that Mr. Call has shown the foresight to put together a rather exciting marketing package that we can work with the dealer throughout the United States. And I'm happy to say that I've been very encouraged by the telephone calls we've received, Joe.
Great.
I'm really looking forward to it. I've got several appointments set up right now around the United States, and we're going to be keeping those appointments in the next few days, and meeting some new people, and I always enjoy that because it's a new opportunity.
Right.
And these people seem to be committed to the industry, and the industry as it grows older each year, it seems that we get a little more sophisticated and we have nicer equipment, and the people that are in it are good people. I like what I've seen.
I can tell your enthusiasm is there, and don't feel surprised if you are called upon almost every week to get a little segment on this show.
Well,
we want an update.
I'd look forward to that. I'd look forward to it. I might mention, too, that Qualtronics, we've acquired another little company, and we're going to get into a commercial telephone and paging system and industrial cordless phones for different institutional purposes. And maybe I could come back in a show in the near future and tell you about that division.
That would be good.
We're putting that division together right now, and I think a lot of our dealers around the country, we've briefly touched on it on the telephone with them, and we're getting a lot of good feedback. We're excited about it, Joe.
Great. Thank you very much, Larry.
Thank you, Joe.
Appreciate it.
Hello. Most of you dealers that have installed 2 receivers on 1 satellite receiving antenna are familiar with what we have here. 2 60 dB isolators, 1 power divider, and a power block. The side terminal for powering up the power block, which in turn would power the LNA. Many of you would like to have something much less complicated. We at Qualtronics have found that such device for you. Here's Dale to show you and tell you a little bit more about that.
This evening I would like to introduce a new product. It's our multi-coupler. This multi-coupler enables any 2 receivers to be operated from the same dish. Now before, it was always necessary to use microwave splitters, isolators, and power blocks. Those have been eliminated by incorporating them all into the multi-coupler. The multi-coupler is a passive device. It requires no power and offers very low loss to the signal. It automatically splits the signal. We have 1 input and 2 outputs. It offers 60 dB of isolation, and there is an automatic power selection circuit built into this unit, which automatically selects the highest DC potential being offered it and sends that one up to power up the LNA. Now for instance, if I am running a Luxor system on this side and a Drake system on this side, the Drake is going to offer 15 volts, the Luxor 18. This unit will sense that, automatically select the 18 volts to send on up to power up the LNA. Should the Luxor have power removed and the 18 volts dropped, this unit will sense that and automatically switch over to the 15 volts coming from the Drake to use to run up to power up the LNA. This effectively eliminates having to have a master receiver which must be left on at all times to power up the LNA. Again, this multi-coupler enables any 2 receivers to be operated on 1 dish while eliminating any interference between the 2. This feature offers outstanding potential in the display area. If you have 1 or 2 dishes and you want to display 2 or 4 sets of electronics, this will enable you to do just that. This feature also offers great potential in the technical department. I can run in a 3.7 to 4.2 gigahertz baseband signal into the bench and effectively have 2 baseband signals to work with on the bench. Also, think of the customer who has an existing system but wishes to add another receiver. Here is our multi-coupler.
Hello, back again with the industry news this week. Again, with the cooperation of Satellite TV Magazine, their news department, especially Tom Stocker. Thank you, Tom. Zoning legislation back in the news, and with it, Senator Barry Goldwater. To combat the rapidly spreading tendency of communities to come up with their own local zoning restrictions, Senator Goldwater plans to introduce legislation in Congress to set guidelines which would prevent passing arbitrary and unduly restrictive state and local regulation of the home Earth stations around the country. The proposed bill will specify that local authorities cannot restrict home Earth stations in order to give a competitive advantage to another means of delivery, such as cable television, he said. The senator is also in the news in another matter. He's announced that he was shocked by a PBS official's recent statement that dish owners did not have the right to receive PBS signals. The PBS statement was a direct result of a recent article that appeared in Satellite TV magazine. Senator Goldwater is responsible for submitting funding legislation to Congress and says he intends to protest strongly against PBS's announced policy. PBS's future public funding depends on Senator Goldwater, who must submit the funding legislation to Congress. The shuttle Discovery made history in November by rescuing two stranded satellites from their useless elliptical orbits. Westar 6 and Palapa B2 were both lost in space last February when their payload assist modules misfired. The entire world breathed a sigh of relief when Discovery gracefully touched down in Florida with the two errant satellites tucked safely in the cargo bay. The two satellites will be overhauled and relaunched, which should make the insurance companies very, very happy. Women in the satellite communications industry are in the news. They are starting to organize. The purpose of the organization is to provide a structure for women to take part in guiding the industry's growth and shaping its future direction. Among the goals of WSC are political activity, educational programs, consumer awareness, and public relations, and a membership drive. An interim board of directors has been elected at the recent Dallas meeting, with representatives selected from various factions within our industry. Here are the women who were elected: Kathy Lewis, representing the dealer; Barbara Clendenin, distributor; Connie Willett, distributor; Nancy Turpin-Sherwood, manufacturer; Linda Carter of the media; Robin Niedert, attorney; and Shirley Ware, other services. Ideas, suggestions, and members are welcome. For further information, contact Connie Willett, SRS, 145 North Columbus Road, Athens, Ohio, 45701. Space has elected a new board. At the recent Dallas Pan Am SES show, the board of directors elected officers for the coming year. Taylor Howard of Chaparral Communications is chairman. Charles Ross, Birdview Satellite Communications, president. David Johnson, Paradigm Manufacturing, the treasurer. Ted Anderson, Automation Techniques, secretary. King Oberlin of King's Antenna Service, executive committee. Robert Biar, Hero Communications, executive committee. And Stan Leaf, SRC Industries, executive committee. A few programming notes. KTVT has moved. The Dallas-based independent soon-to-be superstation reportedly is viewed by over 25 million cable subscribers. Formerly on Satcom F4 transponder 22, KTVT's new home is Comstar D4 transponder 22. The Arts and Entertainment Network announced that effective January 1, they will start transmitting on Satcom F3R transponder 24. They'll continue simulcasting on Satcom F3R transponder 1 and Westar 5 transponder 23 until May 31st and January 1st, respectively. SPN has announced that they will move from Satcom F4 transponder 3 to Satcom F3 transponder 6, effective also on January 1st. NASA will continue coverage of the shuttle launches, and that's good news to all of us. Satcom F1 will continue to be used. However, they will move from transponder 9 to transponder 5. Telstar 302 was launched successfully earlier in the fall and has been moved to 87 degrees west, replacing Comstar D3. In the meantime, Comstar D3 has been co-located with two other satellites. Comstar D1 and D2 located at 76 degrees west. And that's the musical chairs of the satellite moving. To the best of our knowledge, it's the first time that 3 satellites have been placed in the same orbital slot. The Discovery Network's music channel is unlikely to ever appear on satellite. Lack of response from cable operators has made satellite transmissions unviable. There is, however, a possibility that enough UHF TV stations may sign up to receive a Discovery Music Network to make satellite delivery economical again. Prime of Life Network, a new service tailored to audiences over 45, is now being transmitted via Satcom 4 Transponder 7. Airing 3 hours per day, PLN features informational and entertainment programming, plus movies, workshops, and discussions. That's it for our industry news for today. We'll be here at the same time next week.
Welcome to the world of satellite TV opportunities, the Marketing Techniques magazine for satellite television that reviews the latest technology and introduces you to people you should know.
Satellite TV Opportunities is the Marketing Techniques magazine for satellite TV dealers. Our single purpose is to help dealers increase their sales and their profits through improved marketing techniques.
Call today for your subscription to success, 1-800-922-2812, Satellite TV Opportunities magazine.
Mid-Central Electronics, Swanville, Minnesota, 800-547-2388.
TVRO Satellite, Alpena, Michigan, 517-595-2422.
Nichols Distributing Company, Bay City, Michigan, 517-686-3750.
Suntech Satellite Distributing, Staley, North Carolina, 919-742-2353 or 919-742-3441.
Phillips Satellite Systems, Douglas, Wyoming, 307-358-3723. Best Reception Systems, Rockwood, Tennessee. Eclipse Electronics Incorporated, Wayland, Michigan. Energy Options Incorporated, Cincinnati, Ohio. Satellite Products, Evansville, Indiana.
Well, that's our show for today. We want to remind you before we go that we are going to be moving into new studios. We're very happy about that. We will have the winner of the sweepstakes next time, and we certainly want to say tune in every Tuesday at this hour in the Eastern Zone, 2 o'clock and so on. Same Satcom 4 and Transponder 16 location. Thank you.